This video is going to be a very quick, brief overview of how and why technology evolves, and it's worth noting that you have to embrace the fact that technology does evolve, because that's just human nature. It's what we do, so there's no way around it. Although you could choose to just set and forget a home cinema system and leave it unupgraded until the end of time, but eventually the itch is going to catch up and you're going to want to upgrade something, or you're going to have to upgrade something to keep up with just enjoying content. So let's get into it. On the audio side, audio design specifications are constantly evolving. The governing body, or Global Custom Installation Overseer, CEDIA, they produce a document currently called RP22, is the current version, that is based on hours of painstaking research of finding the ideal locations, placements, position, shapes, sizes, etc. of speakers in home cinema systems. This specification is freely available from the CEDIA website if you want to have a look. There's a lot of reading to do, so I don't recommend it for a beginner. The physical form of loudspeakers are constantly evolving as well, despite us having a fairly standard idea of what a speaker should look like. Although once you start delving into the different shapes and sizes of speakers, you'll be quite amazed at how endless the sheer number of designs can be. For example, if you compare the very standard shape, which is a bookshelf speaker for instance, to the Bowers & Wilkins Nautilus speaker, the two of them don't even look like they should belong in the same class, but both of them do the exact same thing essentially. Physical forms aside, loudspeakers designs and concepts are also constantly finding new light, so to speak. Now this could be in the actual driver design, as in the physical speaker itself, not just the entire cabinet, or it can be, for instance, taking a time-proven design and completely reversing it, like some companies who now manufacture reverse magnet mounted subwoofers so that they can be installed into much shallower cavities. Then wireless technology. So wireless gets in everywhere, and some systems you can set up entirely wirelessly. For example, Live Audio have a system by which you can create a 7-channel surround system using completely wireless speakers, apart from obviously supplying mains power to each speaker. But I think eventually this will evolve to the point where you can get super high fidelity sound quality through wireless technology. Audio processing improvements, they are constant. So this is the capabilities of AV receivers, for instance. As computing technology improves constantly, so does processing technology. This means more processing power for audio systems, which means more channels can be added, which means more wild audio designs and concepts can be catered to. And this is where immersive audio designs and concepts come into play. So there are a lot of design studios, or recording studios, should I say, that specialize in the creation of Atmos music or Atmos movie tracks, for instance. And some of them are designed purely for a conceptual reason, to show what is capable and how the sound can be moved around the room using speakers. So let's move on to the video elements. Everyone's aware that maybe only 20 or so years ago, HD was just something that was still in development. There was talk of HD video, but there weren't really many devices, televisions for instance, that could reproduce HD video. And then almost as quick as HD came along, the upgrade to Full HD and then 4K and now 8K. Again, constant evolution. What's coming next? 16K? And then obviously there's the aspect ratio, so CinemaScope for instance, which is nothing new. That's been around for many decades. But whereas old TVs had, for instance, a 4:3 or a 5:4 ratio, most of them now have a 16:9 or a 16:10. Some TVs even have a 2:1 ratio, and that's getting closer to the CinemaScope of the 2:3:5:1. If you look at projection screens, they're available in all different aspect ratios. And once we get to the advanced stuff, you can also have adjustable screens. Video relies heavily on cabling, and the evolution of cabling has made certain video distribution systems very possible and very easy to use. In the days of analog video transmission, you were very limited in how far that can be transmitted over, what length of cable that can be transmitted over. Then digital video came along with HDMI, and then that was extended slightly, although HDMI does have its limits. And now digital video can be transmitted over optical HDMI cables, for instance. So that gives you lengths of, in some cases, up to hundreds of meters. Although there are better technologies like HD-BaseT or other HD video over Ethernet cable technologies available, where you can send HD and 4K video for hundreds of meters. Again, wireless technology plays a big role in video. Currently, most wireless video transmitters will only cope with HD or full HD, but it won't be long before we start seeing 4K video transmission, wireless video transmission. Of course, TVs, we all know that they weren't always as flat as they are now. We started with CRTs, and they were around for many decades. Obviously, that even evolved from black and white on little 12-inch screens and smaller, up to full color and 60 inches or thereabouts. And then you had plasma, which made it possible for the screens to be flatter, and then LCD, which made it possible for the screens to be lighter, and now OLED, which gives you superb quality. Projectors the same. They started with halogen bulbs, i.e. a traditional bulb as the light source. Some projectors use LEDs, and modern projectors use lasers. So evolution is everywhere in technology. So even with sources and experiences. So the film industry, obviously, they are driving a lot of what technology we experience as the end user. They're always striving for having better quality cameras, better quality sound recording equipment, better editing, etc, etc, etc. Commercial cinemas, obviously, they get the feedback from their patrons. They feed it back to the film industry where they can, and there's like a constant tit-for-tat kind of evolution, step-ups in place. And then immersive video is constantly evolving, going from, like I said before, black and white to color to now OLED, where you can get HDR, and now HDR is available in projectors as well, thanks to laser projectors. Having standards like IMAX and IMAX Enhanced available for home cinemas, that brings the experience of an IMAX cinema into your home. And same for immersive audio. I'm sure you've heard the term Atmos used before. There are other 3D audio technologies as well, like Auro for instance, and all of these are constantly evolving to include more speaker channels or audio channels to make it more immersive. So that's it for this video. Just like I said, a quick run through of how technology is evolving and why it's important to embrace the fact that it's evolving, because a home cinema system, once installed, it's never finished really, because who knows, 2 years down the line a better projector is out, or a more powerful amplifier, or a new video source, i.e. going from 4K to 8K, and then you have to upgrade whatever player it is that's feeding the video into the system. The possibilities are endless, so I'm excited to see what the future holds.